In the evening, we are called by their mother. She handed them a bowl of dessert and told them to take it over to the new neighbors. She instructed by she instructed them to greet their family with respect and pay her regards as well. Haziq and Ahmed happily went there and knocked at the door. A lady opened the door and welcomed them in welcomed with a broad smile on her face. They greeted her and as per their mother's instructions gave her the dessert bowl. She offered them fresh juice and had a smile chit chat. While leaving the house, they both saw a boy of their age sitting in the balcony, but when he saw them, he shut the window. They were surprised at his attitude but come back home quickly. Next day, while waiting for their school bus, they observed the same boy sitting in the same window. He repeated the same action and closed his window. The whole day, Hazik and Ahmed thought about that boy. They thought him to be too proud and rude. In the evening, when their mother made donuts, she told them to share them with their new neighbors. The same lady opened the door smiling. They asked about the boy. A tear rolled down from her eyes, and she told them that his name was Jasim and he was her only son. Jasim was only 2 years old when they had found out that he had polio. This news was extremely devastating for them. The ragging fever left him paralyzed from the neck down. He underwent he underwent especially his legs remained dysfunction. She said that Jasim had developed a phobia of school because he had been bullied by a few nuts boys in his previous school. Mr. Akbar was shocked to see the condition of the school building bricks, stones, slabs, rotten bits of wood, broken glass, rusting metal, and heaps of smashed tiles were scattered around the ground. The ground stood barren as nobody had thought to develop it. It was more like a horror house than a school building. It was the only school building in this town, but people were not interested in sending their kids for education. The school building was inhabited with everything but humans, the villagers, we are living a very hard and tough life. Children, girls, we are deprived of basic rights. Mr. Akbar was a newly appointed teacher in this town. He cleaned the school ground and set the assembly areas for students to come, but very few student attended. Mr. Akbar did not lose hope and went to village homes people to send their kids school. Many of them refused by saying that they had no time for education as they struggled to earn their bread and butter for from dawn to dusk. Next day, Mr. Akbar saw a little girl, Amina, sitting under the light, poorly and reading an old book. He was surprised. She was, in fact, a ray of hope. He went closer to see her on asking. She told him that she faced many challenges to have access to education. One of the hardest challenges she was poverty. Her father was a scrap picker and unable to bear her school expenses every every day when her father returned home. Amina used to find old books from scraps to read. Her mother also supported her in studies and encouraged her to read. Unfortunately, there was no schools for girls and she faced difficulties. Mr. Akbar appreciated her spirit of learning. He went to see her parents and promised to facilities. Her Amina's parents also assured Mr. Akbar help in arrange a meeting with the other villagers. Soon a meeting was arranged. Amina and her parents, the villagers, to send their kids to school. Mr. Akbar promised them to t- teach their kids without any fee, and the kids would also get books and from school. Despite his promise, the number of students hardly increased. The villagers did not send their daughters. Amina was the only girl in school. Sitting with so many boys was awkward for her, but her parents were willing to do it for the sake of her education. One fine morning, Amina heard her parents talking about their landlord has been bitten by a snake and admitted to hospital. Amina went to see him with her parents. Their condition of hospital was no better than the school. Medical staff was not available and the hospital was not even equipped with proper facilities. A ward boy was attending the landlord, Carlizzi, who was crying in pain. Amina rushed to him and removed his shoes. Then she took a hand knife and tried tied the leg of landlord near the wound. She also told the ward boy to bring soap and water to wash the wound. Lastly, she conversed the bite of the bite with a clean dry dressing. Meanwhile, the doctor arrived and attended the patient. He examined the landlord carefully and told him that a little delay would have been dangerous for him. He asked Amina who had she had know what to do. She told him that she wanted to be a doctor and that she used to read books about medical and first aid methods. She had recently read the treatment of for snake bite and followed the instruction for the landlord. Everyone was happy because her intelligence saved the life of landlord, and it happened because of her interest in reading. Mr. Akbar appreciated her efforts and landlord promised to help fund the school in the village, especially for girls. Equal opportunity can bring success to the country, and development can only be achieved when everyone is treated equally. Science and technology have facilitated US in many ways and made of made our life comfortable. Science and technology have become an extremely essential part in our life. When our day starts with the ticking of the alarm and ends with switching off the light. The whole day we use different tools and machines which help us in many ways. Scientists have brought a great change in the world with their modern and advanced